Okay, so now let's talk about the midpoint method. If I were to ask you to calculate the PED, the price elasticity of demand, going from A to B, and if you were to do the calculation, new minus old divided by new minus old on the price, you would find out a PED of negative 0.4. If you were to go to B to A, though, and you were to do the calculation, you would end up with negative 0.5. And so what happens here is we're using the same numbers, right? But we're flipping what is new and what is old. So we're getting two different calculations. Different answers are found here. So sometimes economists like to use the midpoint method, which is basically like an average elasticity between these 2 points. All right. So what we're going to do is still the same idea where we're taking the new minus the old. But now we're going to be dividing it by the average. Okay, so we're going to be adding the quantities and then dividing by 2. All right, and we'll do the same with price. We'll take the new price minus the old price, and then we'll divide this by the average price. We'll add them together and divide by 2. Okay, so all in all, what we're looking at in terms of the formula is we're looking at the new quantity minus the old quantity divided by the average quantity, and then we'll do the new price minus the old price divided by the average price. So that is the formula that we're looking at there. Okay. Same idea. New minus old stays the same, but now we're dividing by average. And if you're wondering what is new and what is old, honestly, it doesn't matter which way you go on this one because you're using average. Whether you're going B to A or A to B, it will have the same calculation, which is the usefulness of this formula. So let's do it. Let's go and use the midpoint method to calculate the elasticity from B to A. So we have our prices and our quantities. What goes on top? Quantity. Quantity always goes on top. And so we'll do from B to A. So we'll do PED. We'll do 2800. I'm sorry, new. So, whoops. But again, it doesn't matter which way you go, but we'll keep following that same format. So 3000 minus 2800. For the average, right, we will add these two together and then divide it by 2. If you did this in your calculator, you should have gotten 2900. From there, we will divide by the change in price. So that'll be 60 minus 70 divided by the average price, which is 60 plus 70 divided by 2. And if you did that in your calculator, you should have gotten 65. Okay. So then, again, we're just working top down here. So if you were to equal this out, 3000 minus 2800 is 200 divided by 2900, and then we'll do 60 minus 70, which is negative 10, and then divide that by 65. Let me move this down here, give us a little bit more room. Okay. So again, we did 3000 minus 2800 over 2900. And then we did 60 minus 70 over 65, 200 over 2900, negative 10 over 65. And again, it's the top down, same format as before. So that's going to be 0.068 divided by 10 divided by 65, which is 0.154. Okay, so now we will take our numbers, and this is a negative, sorry, 0.068 divided by 0.154, and so we should have got negative 0.44, but again, we'll take the absolute value here to get it 0.44, and that is the elasticity using the midpoint method. Again, because this is less than 1 or 0 point something, this is an inelastic good. No guessing required here. It is 0 point something. It is inelastic. Let's do another one. We will go G to H again. So we're using these numbers here. So I will write them down for us. So G is the old, and then H is the new. So price on G 120, quantity 1800. Price on H was 130, and quantity is 1600. So if we were to find the elasticity here, we would do 1600 minus 1800 divided by the average. If we were to add these two together, you would get 3400. Divide that by 2, and you'll get 1700. Then we'll do 130 minus 120 over 125. Again, all I did there was I added those two numbers. Got 250 divided by 2, and that's 125. Okay. All right. So now, working top down again, we have 1600 minus 1800. That is negative 200 over 1700. And then we have 130 minus 120, which is 10 over 125. We'll do this in our calculator. We get negative 0.118, rounding up. And then we'll do that, which is 0.08. And we should get negative 1.47 or 48. And if we're looking at our calculator and we see it's a negative number, we think positive. So we get a PED of 1.48. And because this is greater than 1, it is elastic. Do not let this negative number fool you and think it's less than 1. Remember, PED is always negative, so think positive. Alrighty, so that's how you do the midpoint method. All you do, new minus old, but divided by the average. Alright? Okay, the next one we're going to talk about price elasticity of supply.